You've been looking forward to this trip for months. You applied for your Vietnam e-visa, received the approval PDF, paid your fees, and spent 14 hours on a flight dreaming about cheap iced coffee and vibrant street food. You land at Saigon's Tan Son Nhut Airport, step into the humid tropical air, and join the queue at the immigration counter. You hand over your passport with a smile. The officer scans it. He looks at the screen. He looks back at you. He doesn't stamp it. Instead, he types something, picks up his phone, and points to a door behind the booths. Please follow Officer Nam into the room. Your heart drops. Your mind races through every worst-case scenario. Are you being deported? Is your e-visa fake? What happens next? What happens when an immigration officer pulls you into the side room at Saigon Airport? Today, we're revealing the exact transcript of what they ask, the 8 triggers that flag your passport in 2026, and the precise step-by-step answers that will get you stamped through and sent on your way without losing your visa. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Vietnam Visabox. If you're new here, we help expats, digital nomads, and long-term travelers navigate Vietnam's legal landscape, visas, and life without getting caught in expensive traps. First, let's clear up a major misconception. Being pulled into secondary inspection does not mean you are a criminal, nor does it automatically mean you're getting deported. In 2026, Vietnam's Ministry of Public Security fully integrated an automated cross-border database. The system automatically flags passports based on specific patterns, like frequent visa runs, name matches on watch lists, or missing entry data. If you get pulled aside, it simply means an algorithm flagged your file for a manual human check. But if you panic, give vague answers, or lack the right documents on your phone, a routine 10-minute check can quickly spiral into a canceled e-visa. Here are the 8 real scenarios, exact questions, and how to survive secondary inspection. Number 1. The back-to-back visa run flag. This is the #1 reason long-stay digital nomads get pulled into the side room in 2026. If your passport shows you spent 90 days in Vietnam, flew to Bangkok, or walked across the border to Cambodia for 24 hours and immediately tried to re-enter on a brand new 90-day e-visa, the border computer will flag you. The officer's exact question will be, "Why are you returning to Vietnam so quickly? Are you living here?" So how should you answer this? Never say you are living in Vietnam on a tourist e-visa. That is a legal contradiction. Say this instead. I am on an extended multi-destination trip across Southeast Asia. I spent time in Thailand, and I am returning to Vietnam to explore the central region, specifically Da Nang and Hoi An, before heading home. Here's the exact fix. Have a booked internal flight or hotel reservation ready to show on your phone. If you sound like a slow traveler exploring different regions, you pass. If you sound like an illegal resident doing continuous border runs, you get questioned further. Number 2. Proof of onward travel verification. You're sitting in the secondary room and the officer asks for your passport. Without looking up, he asks, "Where is your ticket out of Vietnam?" In the past, immigration officers rarely checked this at the border because airlines were supposed to do it at check-in. In 2026, officers at Tan Son Nhut and Noi Bai conduct random checks to combat illegal remote workers overstaying indefinitely. If you say, "I haven't booked it yet, I'll figure it out later," you are stepping directly into a trap. So how should you answer this? Hand them your phone with a valid confirmed flight ticket out of Vietnam within your 90-day allowance. The officer will actually check the 6-character PNR booking code on his terminal. If you bought a fake photoshopped PDF from an online scam site, it will show as non-existent in the system, and you will be flagged for border fraud. Here is the exact fix. Use a legitimate flight reservation service like Onward Ticket or Best Onward Ticket to rent a real, verifiable airline reservation for around $12. It registers on the airline's live system and passes officer verification 100% of the time. Number 3. The remote work question. The officer looks at your passport profession or asks you casually, "What do you do for work? Are you working in Vietnam?" This is a critical trap question. Many Westerners, trying to be polite and honest, say, I'm a software engineer. I work online for a US company from my laptop. Stop right there. In the eyes of Vietnamese immigration law, working in Vietnam, even remotely on a laptop for a foreign client, without a valid work permit and business visa, falls into a gray legal area. Admitting you are working while on a tourist e-visa can trigger immediate entry refusal. So how should you answer this? You must distinguish between your career back home and your activity in Vietnam. Say, I am a software engineer based in the United States. I am currently on vacation and taking time off to travel around Vietnam as a tourist. Here is the exact fix. Keep your answer simple. You are a tourist on vacation spending foreign money in Vietnam. Do not elaborate on your digital nomad lifestyle, client meetings, or laptop work. Number 4. Financial proof and address verification. The officer pulls up your e-visa application file on his monitor and points to the address section. Where are you staying tonight? Show me the booking. Under Decree 282, all foreign visitors must have a declared temporary residence. If you typed a random hotel address on your e-visa application that you didn't actually book, or if you wrote something vague like hotel in Saigon, the officer will ask for proof. He may also ask, how are you paying for your stay in Vietnam? So how should you answer this? Open your phone and show an active Agoda, Booking.com, or Airbnb confirmation for at least your first 3 to 7 nights in Vietnam. For financial proof, open your banking app, or Wise app, showing you have sufficient funds to support your stay. You do not need tens of thousands of dollars. Showing $1,500 to $2,000 in liquid savings is more than enough to satisfy the officer that you won't become destitute or work illegally. Here is the exact fix. Never leave the address field vague. Always book your first 3 nights in advance and keep the digital receipt offline on your phone so you can access it without Wi-Fi. Number 5. Watch list collisions and name mismatches. Sometimes you get pulled into secondary inspection through no fault of your own. If your name is David Smith or John Lee, there are likely hundreds of people in the global immigration database with your exact name. If one of them overstayed a visa in 2024 or engaged in illegal activity, the computer flags your passport for a manual identity check. Alternatively, your name on your e-visa might missing a middle name, triggering a manual verification. The officer will ask, what is your full official name? Have you ever been to Vietnam under a different passport? So how should you answer this? Remain completely calm. Hand over your physical passport, along with a secondary ID like an official driver's license or national ID card from your home country to prove your identity. Here is the exact fix. Always ensure your e-visa full name matches the machine-readable zone, MRZ, at the bottom of your passport page. If you are pulled aside due to a common name collision, presenting a secondary ID clears up the confusion in under 5 minutes. Number 6. Addressing past overstay penalties. The officer flips through your passport pages, stops at an old Vietnamese stamp from last year, and types on his keyboard. You overstayed your visa for 3 days in 2025. Why? With updated immigration tracking, past administrative violations do not disappear when you get a new passport or a new visa. If you overstayed in the past and paid a fine at the airport, that record is permanently attached to your biometric profile. The officer is evaluating whether you respect Vietnamese laws or if you are a habitual offender. So how should you answer this? Do not make excuses, blame the government, or pretend it didn't happen. Say, yes, officer, last year I miscalculated my exit date by 3 days due to a flight reschedule. I paid the official administrative fine at the airport immediately. This time, I have set calendar reminders and booked my return flight well before my 90 days expire. Here is the exact fix. Showing accountability, respect for the law, and proof of a pre-booked exit ticket instantly diffuses the situation. Number 7. Physical passport condition checks. This is a physical inspection trap that surprises many travelers. You're pulled aside not because of your visa, but because the officer at the front desk noticed water damage, a slightly torn cover, or a loose data page on your passport. Under international maritime and aviation standards, border officers can reject a passport if they suspect it has been tampered with or if the security laminate is compromised. The officer will bend the passport, inspect the photo laminate, and ask, "What happened to your passport? How did it get damaged?" So how should you answer this? Explain clearly and simply how the minor wear occurred. E.g., it was in my backpack during a rainstorm in Malaysia. Here is the exact fix. If your passport has significant water damage, peeling laminate, or torn pages, do not attempt to travel to Vietnam with it. Renew it at home before flying. If an officer deems your passport invalid at secondary inspection, no amount of explanation will save you from being turned back. Number 8. Your demeanor and attitude. This isn't a technical rule, but it is the single most important factor determining whether you walk out of that room with an entry stamp or an entry refusal. When Western travelers get pulled into secondary inspection, their natural reaction to stress is often frustration, raising their voice, demanding to speak to an embassy official, or arguing, "I paid for my visa, you have to let me in." In Vietnamese culture, saving face and maintaining emotional composure is paramount. Raising your voice, acting entitled, or showing anger is seen as aggressive behavior. It will immediately cause the officers to dig in their heels and enforce the strictest interpretation of the law. Here is the exact fix. Treat the officers with utmost respect. Sit quietly, use polite language, say, "Come on, thank you." Do not pull out your phone to record videos, which is strictly illegal in border zones, and answer questions concisely. 90% of foreigners pulled into secondary inspection walk out within 15 minutes if they remain calm, polite, and have their documents ready on their phone. Look, sitting in a quiet room at an airport while immigration officers review your passport can feel intimidating. It's easy to feel like the system is against you. But it's important to understand the bigger picture. Vietnam is not trying to keep you out. The country welcomes millions of tourists, digital nomads, and expats every single year with open arms. These checks exist simply to protect the country's security and ensure that people entering respect the local laws. Once the officer hands back your passport stamped with your 90-day permission and you walk out through those glass doors into the warm Saigon air, the stress disappears immediately. The incredible food, the warmth of the local people, the vibrant coffee culture, and the freedom of living in Southeast Asia are all waiting for you right outside. A little bit of preparation and understanding is all it takes to make your journey smooth. We want to hear from you. Have you ever been pulled into secondary inspection at an airport? Or what is your biggest concern about entering Vietnam in 2026? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read and reply to as many as possible. And if you're moving to Vietnam soon and want to make sure your apartment lease, visa extensions, or cost of living budget are 100% legal and stress-free, subscribe to Vietnam Visabox. If you want to make sure you don't fall into the most expensive housing trap right after leaving the airport, click and watch our video on the top 5 apartment rental scams in Vietnam right here. See you in the next guide.